from Sona College of Technology, Salem, and today's topic is IoT applications in civil engineering. I think which is a very interesting topic because most of us who are budding civil engineers, as well as those who are active in profession, I think must know about the recent development or those developments which are going to take place in the near future, as well as the technologies that is presently available. So as we were speaking during the last two webinars, that is many of the developments that is taking place would definitely be of application to civil engineering for making it much more effective, efficient, and result oriented. So with those few words, let me just give a brief introduction about Ramco Cements. All of you know about Ramco Cements, but then for this thing, let me just inform you that we are manufacturing 12 brands of cements for various applications. Portland Pozzolana cement, Portland slag cement, ordinary Portland cement, sulfate resistant cement, and cement for precast applications. So based on the applications and concrete requirements, we have these 12 different types of cement. And apart from this, we are manufacturing six dry mix products from our dry mix plant, which are nothing but Ramco Tile Fix. Most of you would have used it. Ramco Block Fix, Ramco Super Plaster, Self Curing Plaster, Super Fine, and Tile Grout. And as all of you know that we also render services in terms of mix design, as well as testing of raw materials and cement from our Ramco Research Development Center, so that we can have a better coordination, as well as if any of you are having any problems regarding mix design or similar problems, you can always get in touch with us, and we can always get it done. Because the thing is that, as all of you know, that there are a number of challenges in the construction industry. There are so many chemical admixtures which are available, and as you will all be aware that a single chemical admixture may not be compatible with all cement. So it is very essential that we also check the compatibility test of cement with chemical admixtures, which is of importance. And for that, we have the various equipments at our Ramco Research Development Center. Apart from those normal equipments which we use as per BAS, like you have the fineness test, you have setting time apparatus and all that. But apart from that, there is high-end evaluation equipments like X-ray fluorescence is there, Alpine Airjet sieve analyzer is there, laser particle size analyzer. Now, all this is to ensure that we have a proper particle size distribution of blending materials as well as cement, which is very important. And of course, to even study the thermal behavior of cement raw materials and concrete, we have the thermogravimetrical analyzer. We have the BET surface area analyzer to analyze the surface area and micropores of fine materials like fly ash, rice ash. And then, of course, all of you know that concrete is basically used for compressive testing compressive testing. And for that, we have the compressive testing machine, flexural testing, and Young's modulus test at Ramco Research Development Center, measuring durability, rapid chloride ion penetration test, as well as the dense water permeability apparatus, which is used for measuring the durability of concrete. So these are some of the equipments that we have at our Ramco Research Development Center, and we also have been interacting with various construction professionals who have been using our cement for major concreting works in different exposure conditions. Some near the marine areas, as all of you know, structures near the marine areas are prone to deterioration, and hence we need to take a lot of precautions as far as the type of material is concerned, the type of practices, so that the durability is maintained. And then we have corporates like ITD Cementation, Larsen & Toubro, Tata Housing, institutions like Bangalore Metro, Chennai Metro, those who have approved our brands, and a number of projects in the eastern part of the country like Haldia Development Authority who have approved our brand, and projects like Dilip Buildcon, Godrej, who have been our major customers, and Arabian Construction Company, which is executing number of works in West Bengal. They have been using our cement for quite a long time. And the idea of having all this is that when you have a close collaboration with construction professionals, you tend to know what they need and all that. So that is a basic idea. So with those few words, let me thank the speaker, Dr. M.N.A. Gulshan Taj. Just a brief overview of the speaker. She has teaching and research experience of 15 years. Dr. Gulshan Taj is presently Associate Professor at the Department of Civil Engineering, Sona College of Technology, and completed PhD at Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee in the year 2015 in the area of functionally graded material. She published more than 50 papers in national and international conferences and journals. Her research area includes structural health monitoring, remote sensing, green buildings, and advanced composite material. She was recipient of Best Women Engineer Award from IEI in the year 2017. She obtained funds from various funding agencies like Indian Institute of Engineers, IEI, CSIR, and SERB to conduct national-wide workshops and seminars. Her student projects won various awards from NDRF, ISTE, and AISTE New Delhi. She delivered webinars and talks in many engineering colleges for the benefit of engineering fraternity. And today, Dr. Gulshan Taj is here with us to talk about IoT applications in civil engineering. And I am sure that professionals who have logged in would have a number of takeaways. Over to you, Dr. Gulshan Taj, for your presentation, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir, for your me as well about the various activities did or Siemens. In that sense, I would like to congratulate the entire team of Ramco Cement, for doing excellent job and offering various services to the people and to the city in the field of construction industry. Thank you for that. My advance wishes for the reaching the same track. You have to reach the heights, various heights, so that you can service in excellent way. That is my wishes from my side. And again, I would like to thank ICI Salem Center, the Ramco Cement Limited, conducting this 3-day webinar series on Construction 4.0. And as my previous speaker told, we have to update about the technologies, because day to day, if you see, the technologies are shifting, paradigm shift, I can say. That is what happening in the construction industry. Not only construction industry, everywhere, whatever industry you take, the paradigm shift is happening a minute to minute. So it is the time to update ourselves, especially being the civil engineers, whether you are an academician or an industry people, or you are a student or faculty, whatever may be, it is a time to update yourself. So in order to implement such advanced technologies in your relevant area or whatever area you are working on. So that is what the need of the hour today. So in that case, I would like to thank Ramco Cement for inviting me as one of the speaker in this webinar series on Construction 4.0. So as the speaker rightly pointed out, the technology should be known by the or that should be explored by the people, especially those who are in field or site or whatever may be. So in that way, today I am very happy to share some of the applications of IoT applications in civil engineering. So let me go into the presentation. So let me give you a overview of my content and how much time I'm going to devote for that. Let me first, I'm going to tell you about what is IoT concept, and for that I'm devoting around 10 minutes. And right now the scenarios, like wherever we are, smart city applications, cities that have been selected by the government of India, like that. We are know lot of news we used to read in newspapers as well. We used to hear in news channels. So in that case, IoT has wide applications in smart cities. So let me throw some light on that for 15 minutes. Then there are some applications on smart city using IoT. So I'm spending 20 minutes on that. And I will be showing some of the case studies, and different cities have been selected. Almost 99 plus cities in India are selected for smart city applications. So in that case, I will be showing, I have taken one case study as Coimbatore city, And let me tell you how the Coimbatore city is implementing smart city applications on their city. And I feel most of the participants will be from construction industry. So I thought I can give some of the applications on that also. For that, I'm taking around 10 minutes. And being a speaker, I would like to not only sharing the theory information, I would also like to share some of my projects that are basically IoT based that I have done. My students have done as a part of uh, our academic activities. Then I will be spending. Finally, we are the platform will be open for the question and answer for 10 minutes. So this is the overall end of my session, and I hope you will be comfortable. And finally, I want to with the audience, and I ensure that my session and my content, whatever I am going to present today, it will give you a real time. Should not be a one-way communication or not web information. Whatever I am going to deliver by real time uh, uh, do I can to my present. I can have some justice to my presentation. And these are the 3 W's I'm going to address in today's session. The first, why IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning, and so many technologies are coming. Even drone. Yesterday, you people might have heard something about drone technology, and day before yesterday, Malati ma'am spoke about something, construction 4.0, and like that. So, what is the need and why we are talking about IoT and so many advanced technologies? And basically, what is IoT? And after knowing why IoT and what is IoT, we have to know where the IoT concept can be effectively used, whether it is in construction industry or smart city applications or structural health monitoring or traffic management, like that. So I am going to address these kinds of 3 W's in my today's presentation, that is why and what and where. So let us have a look on IoT and how does it works. And before that, I would like to interact with the participants, in terms of some connection words. So please don't ask yourself, and just I need your answer in the chat box. So let me to the chat box so that I will know the answer. I also request the organizers to enable the chat box, possible, please, so they can interact. Yeah. Thank you for that. And let them through the chat box. Then only they will have more some things are possible. Can quickly get this final by connecting all this. Chat, please reply in the chat box. What kind of word? What kind of word we could able to coin by these 3 images? Any guesses? If it is wrong, also no issue, because I'm not going to evaluate or something. It is a kind of only. Any guesses? Yeah. The clue is that is what today's topic also. I want to give you a clue also. Yeah, come on quickly. It is wrong also, no issue for me. Yeah, no issue for me.
Somebody has wrote social network.
Okay, now somebody has wrote Internet of Things also.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for, I think from Abhishek Bhattacharya.
Yes.
Right, Abhishek Bhattacharya, and thank you for that. It is basically Internet of Things. Okay,
I
so
think one
why
somebody has mentioned, Avula Venkata Subramaniam has mentioned.
same thing? Okay,
Yeah, Internet of Things. Yeah.
okay. So basic definition lies on the word itself. Okay, so many things. It may be vehicles, it may be a mobile phone, it may be a home, it may be any appliances. You can just connect by means of internet. Okay, that is what the clue says, and that is what the meaning of the word called IoT, right? So we are connecting the things, the physical things, by means of internet. Okay, so internet is today in today's world, it is a part and parcel of everyone's life. Without internet, even we cannot imagine a single moment. Even whatever today the session is happening, or even your kids are attending to so many online classes, and online marketing is happening, online purchase, and we are ordering the food through online. So everything is happening, revolution is happening only through the internet. So in that case, internet of things is nothing but this, I could say. Let me move on to the next. Again, I want to interact with the audience. Can you the word? What is the final word you can able to guess from the images? The purpose of putting these images is there is a relationship between whatever I am putting the connection as well as to the concept. So I want to get an answer from the participants, so that again, please participants don't mind that it is right or wrong. No, just please participate. Yeah, census is somewhat okay, but not exactly correct. You're close to the answer. You can bit try. So any other answers? Just connect the two images. Connect the two images. Yeah,
Somebody has mentioned artificial intelligence, Ram Venkatesh.
yeah, but I think somebody mentioned, people are trying to mention sensors from
Yes,
Chandra
yes.
Prakash as well. Sensors is the right answer, because we have six smells sensors and ARER, so sensors. Because without sensor, you could not imagine a concept called IoT, because sensors plays a vital role in implementing the concept. So that's why I want you to know the word called sensor. That is the purpose. Please want to the definition. What is IoT? So, as I told, IoT is a big network. It is a giant network where you can connect different kinds of devices. The devices uh, may be from mobile, a simple mobile phone into a complicated things, whatever may be. It means only you are connecting the devices through the process called internet. So it is a big network, and that might be a question, right? So why I have to connect the devices, and what is happening by means of connecting the devices? Basically, the purpose of connecting devices is that you can sharing the data. You are sharing the data because the data is very important in today's world. Whatever you are doing, whether you are doing some retail operations, whether you are doing whatever the kind of activity you are doing, data is very very important. Suppose even if you take the case of Romco Cements also, so how many products today they sold, and how many customers they have attended today, or how many consultancy services they did, and how many new products they launched today, who are all the people working on. So thing is related to data. So in that case, data is very important for, for any kind of thing. So in that case, sharing and gathering data is basically happening in case of IoT. And for the share to happen, and for the data to be proper, the sensors are used. Okay, so sensors in the sense, I will tell you what kind of sensors are there, or what the sensors will do the job. And but in IoT, we have to embed these sensors in all the physical devices. Okay? In all the physical devices. So the devices may be, as I said, it may be a mobile phone, it may be electric appliances, it may be vehicles, it may be a barcode sensor, traffic light, whatever may be. There are huge sensors are available in the market. I will tell you how to choose and how I have taken a different kinds of sensor for the projects in the later slides. So with these slides, what we are concluding is, or I am concluding is, IoT is nothing but a big network, right? Where you are going to connect a number of devices, not a single device or a two devices. Yeah, connect possible. And basically, the sharing of data is happening. If to share, you want embed the sensors. Okay, so unless otherwise you embed the sensor, you cannot sense. Okay, because the sensors will do the job of sensing. If you want to sense the temperature of the room, whatever you are sitting now, so you can just place the temperature sensor. The sensor will try to capture what is the temperature inside the room, and based on that, it can control the intensity of light, or based on that, it can control your air conditioner or whatever may be. That is what happening. In other case, if you want to monitor the corrosion process inside the beam or column or any structural component, that can also be possible. For that, you have to embed the corrosion sensors, and that sensors will try to capture what is happening in terms of corrosion inside the structure. Okay, so that is what possible. Okay, so many kinds of sensors are available, and you have to choose what kind of sensors will fit for you based on the problem or based on your application. As I told, sensors will try to continue to emit data, and the purpose is will try to inform you the status of the device. If, for example, if you are monitoring a building, they will tell you the status of the building. If you are monitoring a bridge, they will tell you the working status of the bridge. So whatever may be the structural or the structural component, they will try to give you that information, how the bridge is responding for different loading conditions, or is there any um, issues like any repairs that has to be done, or is there any corrosion problem, or is there any crack problem, like that. They will sensors will alert you, or sensors will give you such information. I will tell you in the later slides. And I told you the definition of IoT, right? It is the connection of different physical objects with the process called Internet of Things. For that, we have to embed sensors. We have to embed the sensors inside the structure or inside the component, whatever you have to work with that. And here is the simple example. Uh, uh, with that, I want to explain you how the basically IoT is working. Here there is a coffee maker, and a woman wants to order a coffee. It is like how we have in Alexa and all. Just by voice message, the machine will recognize what you are going to, what is your, it will recognize your thought, or it will recognize your voice, and based on your voice input, it will try to act. Okay, that is what basically happening in Alexa also. So here also the same thing is happening. So she once she order a coffee, the next step by the machine is, it will try to look what are all the kinds of ingredients that are available inside the machine, whether the milk is available and coffee powder and sugar. And next step the machine will do is, it will try to, it will yeah, I think audience will have questions like whether the sensors will have some earthquake sensors and all. I will answer all those questions at the end of the session, so that we have some continuity also. Okay, so the coffee machine will try to find, will try to have some proportions, how much of coffee powder has to put, how much of milk, and how much of sugar, and accordingly it will prepare a nice cup of coffee for you. Okay, that is what happened. So this is called as some artificial intelligence kind of things. So that is what happening here. So these are all basically a simple concept of simple application of IoT. And next come to home. So every home nowadays is stuffed with so many electronic appliances, right? And you have some sound systems, audio system, you have CCTV camera, and you have some laptops, printers, and toasters, and air conditioners and air coolers, all kinds of electronic appliances you have inside the home, right? So you can, in IoT, what you can do is you can make your home as a smart. Okay, smart in the sense you can connect all these devices. So by sitting in your office or by sitting in some remote place, you can try to control all these things. Try to control in the sense that you throw your mobile phone. Now, if you want to, you are starting from your office and it is only 5 minutes to reach your home. So you can start your, you can on your geyser so that immediately you can go and take the bath, and you can switch on the AC also if you want to go and relax, and if you want to on the rice cooker, that is also possible. So all kinds of controls are possible. Either you can on or off, or you can play with the electrical appliances like anything. That is also possible. And even by sitting in your home, you can control your office and you can control all the appliances, printers and laptops or computers or whatever may be, or your CCTV camera. So everything is possible. In that way, we can make a home as a complete smart home. So that is possible with the help of IoT. And let us cover a all bridge, and because bridges are the mass, if there is any failure or any kind of failure occurs, there will be a huge loss of property as well as a human loss also will be there. So in that case, the experts are trying to monitor the such massive structures with the help of IoT. Okay, so this is a simple picture in the bridge monitoring using sensors. If you see the piers and abutments, you can install some of the strain gauges, right? Strain gauges and temperature sensors and surface strain gauges and energy level sensors and all these kinds of, it is not restricted to only these kinds of sensor. You can have any kind of sensor. That is what I'm trying to say you. It depends on the user. It depends on the user. So you are the person, you have to decide what kind of parameter you want to monitor and what kind of output you want to get. You want to, what kind of thing you want to monitor in the particular structure. Based on that, you have to choose the sensor. So once you embed the sensor like this, so and the embedding of sensor is possible even pre and post. Pre in the sense, so before casting the component or before construction also possible, but to do proper encapsulation technique, so that you have to cover the sensor in a proper way so that the sensor will not be damaged by any means. That you have to take care. And even for example, in the another case, assume that your home is or your building is ready, but now you have to monitor. So in that case, you can go for surface attachment. You can attach the sensor on the surface and you can try to capture what kind of performance is happening or what kind of things are happening. Monitoring can be done basically. So in this bridge structure, so once you install all the sensors, you can connect all the sensor to the collection box, and from which you can connect to the wireless transmission module, and you have a center called data center, right? So in the data center, the people, expertise people will be there, so they will be collecting all the data, and you will have some softwares also in which you can try to sort out the data whatever you basically acquired from the bridge structure. So this is what the entire arrangement of the health monitoring of a bridge structure through the concept called IoT. And this is also one of the application of IoT in construction sector. So this I want to explain you at the later slide. And IoT is not a single application in civil engineering alone. It has a multiple application. As I said, it is the buzzword, or it is a word, every field of every domain people are working on. Right from agriculture, even you can monitor the crop, you can try to give the information to the farmer that you can go with this crop will have good yield, and you can inform the farmer about the price, what is the market price, everything, and house applications, and in energy sector also, IoT has very huge application, as well as transportation and building and medical and industry and logistics. So these are all a few application areas where IoT has, is dominating like anything. And let us see how the data is shared. And for that, the data will be basically shared with the help of a common language. Common language, there are many kinds of languages are available, and you might be knowing few of them like C, C++, Python, PHP, Java. Like that, there are many kinds of languages are available. So from through which the data will be basically shared. So there may be another question arising in your mind. I am a civil engineer. I do not know anything about programming. Then how to proceed with that? Or if I do not know the program, what will happen to me if I want to implement IoT? So for such kind of question, the answer is, if you are really interested towards programming, or if you are really passionate about learning programming, there are a lot kind of platforms are available like NPTEL courses. You have many online courses and free web courses also going on. And nowadays, so many webinars are also going on. So you can try to learn from that, and you can try to learn by yourself. And in another case, if you do not want to learn programming, or if you are a person who do not know any programming kind of things, IoT is basically a participation of all kinds of domain engineer. There will be a civil engineer, there will be a computer science engineer, there will be a IT engineer, there will be electronics and communication engineer. So different kinds of domain peoples are involved in executing the IoT concept, right? So in that case, if you are not good in programming, don't worry for that. So you have to add the your project, or solve a simple thing. So they will be taking care of all the programming, but there should be a proper communication between a civil and CSC and ECE. What is the scope of your part, and what is the scope of CSE, and what is the scope of, like that you have to define the scope of every individual. Okay, so once you define, you can very well go with the problem statement. So in IoT platform, another advantage is that the data will be very secure. So because if you are doing a construction project in a huge way, the data is a vital part. The data should not be disclosed to anyone. No, in that case, in IoT platform, the data can be kept in a secure manner. And basically, IoT is integrating all kind of data from various sources. That is what happening. And once the data will be collected, the information can be extracted as per your requirement. For example, you are monitoring a bridge for a period of 1 year or 6 months. Your intention is what is the maximum loading condition that bridge has taken up, and or what is the vibration level bridge, what is the vibration level of the bridge. So in that case, you can very well do that. Okay, so that is what the information you will be extracting for the last 6 months data or last 1 year data. The data will be huge. That question is, what kind of data you want to extract from the whole data. So that is what important in case of IoT. So this is what the basic protocol of IoT. So as I said, you have multiple applications like smart home, defense also. You can have IoT and healthcare and industry. So there will be basically and routers, and with the help of mobile phones, you can connect with the service network. So from the service network, the data will be taken to the data center where the storing is happening or analysis is happening. For that only you have to use big data. So big data is another kind of tool. nowadays used to by many academicians as well as industry people for handling a data. Okay, so here you have servers and storage part where you have to uh, assess the data, or where you have to store the data, and finally you have to analyze the data. This is what happening. So once you analyze the data, you can go for the application part. So as I said, the application may be different, like application may be smart home, or construction industry, whatever may be. So application may be a different one. So next again, so with this I want to uh, give you a small break. Like IoT, I told you, is basically a connection of devices. Okay, the devices may be any kind of device or any number of device. Okay, we are connecting a device basically through the concept called internet. Okay, and IoT has multiple applications like industry, homes, logistics, transportation, buildings, and medical and agriculture. And basically, sharing of data is happening in IoT, and you have data center and you have a wireless communication system where you are going to analyze the data and you are going to do anything. You can do any kind of activity with the data. So with this, I want to have you a small interaction with the audience. This is a picture of a family where they are spending their time with reading books, and this is something very different even for me, because nowadays people are a kid is having two mobile phone, and father and mother, everyone used to sit with a mobile phone, and because of their classes, and but we are missing this, we are missing to read books and everything. So can you, there are six hidden words here. I would like to guess the, I would like to guess all the participants what kind of hidden words are here. Can any guesses? Yeah, six hidden words. No, no, R is, can you go little bit near to R? You have one more word, right? STORY, on the lady, on the lady's book. No, you can find out one more word called STORY. Okay, story. Yeah, fine. Yeah, good. Ajay, Jadav, good. Anyone? Any other? Only one. Pages. Very good. On boy who is lying on the sofa. You have pages. Words. Very good. Saumya. Yeah. And Kanmani, pages. Okay. Pages on the boy. I think not all the six words are finished. Food. Okay. Very good. Food is good. Okay. And can you find some word called novel here? Novel. Novel. Novel on the men. Men sitting on the sofa near to that. Novel. Okay, on sofa. Yes. Novel, story, pages, and there is a word called read also. On the top of dog and a girl, if you connect the two words, you can read. Read is another word. So these are all some of the hidden words. Book also, right? Yes, yes, Ram Venkatesh. Okay, it's only for an interaction purpose. That's all. Yeah. So now it is. I'm going to throw some light on what is the application of IoT in smart city. Okay. So the basically why we are shifting to a conventional system into IoT is that only for the means of comfortable and security. Okay, so the residents of city or residents or people, they will have security out of, because it is a very essential thing once the data is concerned. So IoT ensures security as well as it will make your life comfortable. Okay, that's why people are switching over to IoT concept. So let me tell you some IoT use cases, especially for smart cities. So you can optimize the street lighting, you can do the traffic management, you can monitor the air quality, and public safety can be ensured, and you can plan for some smart parking systems, and you can have some smart lighting also. Okay, so that is all possible with the help of. So in case of road traffic, what you can basically do is based on the traffic intensity. So based on the traffic intensity, you can uh, try to switch on the lights, street lights, or road lights or lights. You can either dim, or you can make it on, or you can make it off. So all kinds of things are uh, possible, okay, with the help of IoT. And even the traffic route can be diverted. So if for example I am moving from I will tell you the example of Salem city. If I am moving from Salem junction into new bus stand, if I found that something, there is traffic jam is there uh, in my route, I can change my route so that I can reach to my office within a time, or I can reach to my destination within a time. So that is what possible. And even traffic police will get the information, right? So this is what the traffic intensity of this particular place. Accordingly, he can make some diversion if there is any repair work or any pipe laying work is going on the road. The traffic people can easily divert with the help of IoT. They can send the messages among their group, and they can try to divert the traffic so that without any congestion, the vehicle will try to move. So that is what the advantage of IoT in case of transportation. And in case of smart parking, uh, basically if you want to visit any mall, for example Phoenix Mall or Reliance Mall, which is available in your city, so before entering into the mall, you can find out is there any parking lot is free, or which parking lot you have to occupy, and how to divert for that, or is there any is in case if there is no parking lot at all available, and you find that there is a rush kind of thing in the mall, you can go to some other mall, or you can plan for some other activity. That kind of things can be possible. So smart parking, in the sense the driver will be clearly notifying by the system that there is no place for vehicle, or the place allotted for your vehicle, or this place you can go and occupy. So these kinds of information will be shared with the driver via the concept called Internet of Things. So that is what happening in the smart parking system. And in case of public transport, suppose you are a person who is traveling in a bus or metro or something like that, you can plan your ticket. You can uh, book your ticket, and also you can book your seat, like how the red bus is working. So in the red bus, you can book your ticket in prior, before 2 or 3 days itself you can plan, and you can book your ticket, and you can enjoy your journey. That is what happening in the red bus, right? So in cities also, or in public transport also, you can book your ticket, or also you can find out whether the bus is at right time, or your bus is no delay for due to some issues, some reasons it is delay. So in that case, you can try to search for another bus. Okay, so those kinds of smartness can be included, or that is what happening in case of transportation system. And coming to the utilities, you can go with the smart meters. If you have some apartments, if you are living in apartment, or if you are running a industry kind of thing, have a smart meters where you can capture what is happening to your building, energy consumption, in terms of energy consumption. What is the energy consumption of your building, or if uh, of your industry for this month, and you are consequently you are monitoring your building for a last 6 months, for example. And if you found that there is a in the last month your energy consumption is very high by means of bill, electricity bill, or by means of water bill, you can that will give you a alarm sign that there may be some leakage on the pipelines, or there may be something no your machine needs some repair action, like that. So you can try to sort out what kind of problem is happening in your industry, or what kind of problem is happening there in a building, and you can do some remedial actions based on that. So that is what the clue or data basically we are going to derive from the concept called IoT. So the smart meter will tell you what is the consumption of either electricity or water for your building for a time period, for particular time period. So that can be very well possible with the case of smart meters and smart building. Uh, the next concept is street lighting. So as I said, you can go with the three options based on the pedestrian movement, whether more number of pedestrians are there or only less number of pedestrians. Because in many of the metropolitan cities, or even in your own place, if you see, even after the morning, the street light, no, they will be in on condition. So in that way, no, we are not in responsible way in consuming the energy or conserving the energy. So in that case, the street lights will automatically go to switch off condition when there is no pedestrian at all, or where there is a uh, based on the sunlight, or based on whether the sunlight is there or not, it can sense. It can sense basically based on the condition. It can try to off or on or dim. All the conditions are possible. If any additional condition also you want to uh, do, you can add that means of uh, you can do anything. You can whatever you can play like with the programming like anything. Okay, and that is what beauty of IoT. And you can extract many possible things and many advantages. And if you are a person waiting in a bus stop, you can try to find out where your bus is and how much time it will take the bus for you to to reach your place. Or your ticket has been confirmed, or you want to cancel the ticket, or you want to change the bus. All kinds of options are available with the help. Coming to the waste management, here what is happening is the garbage collecting bins or the waste collecting bins can be installed with the sensor, and those sensors uh, they can uh, those sensor can be sensed in the same manner that they will try to give you the info the truck driver. So this garbage bin has been full. This garbage bin is full, or this garbage bin is empty. Like that, it will give you the information. So based on the information, a truck driver can plan for that without suppose for example in 5 roads the garbage bin is full, and in Astampati the garbage bin is not full. So these are the different two locations I'm mentioning in Salem city. Okay, so in one location the bin is full, whereas on the another location the bin is not full. So in that case, the truck driver can plan his route accordingly, and so that he can go to the place and he can collect all the garbages or waste whatever available in the container. So that can be very well done by the IoT. So by this way, basically the driver route can be optimized, or a truck route can be optimized And also the main thing is fuel can be saved. Otherwise, in a conventional system, what is happening? The driver used to visit all the places, and whether the garbage is less or more, he has to visit all the places. So that will not happen in case of IoT. So in that case, we can plan for some smart waste management systems, and even you can monitor the air quality, what is there in your locality. So we have to see different concentrations of gases, right? CO, nitrogen, sulfur oxide, and nitrate. And there is a limit for that, and these gases should not exceed the value prescribed by the codes or the authorities, right? So once these values will exceed, it will affect the human, or it will affect the ecosystem. The people will affected by lungs or nerve system once values will get exceed. So in that, some sensors, and those sensors will try to what is the concentration of these gases, alert the system in the sense that they will alert the people of traffic people or concerned authorities that this place, the fire roads is having more concentration of these many gases. So once they will receive this notification or information, they will rush to the spot and they can find out what is the problem for that, whether the more number of vehicles are passing on that, or is there uh, vehicle act should be modified, or what kind of steps they have to take. So those kind of decisions can be done by the authorities, government authorities, in order to have a eye on uh, air quality monitoring. Okay, so that is also possible with the help of IoT. And public safety, and this is a big issue for police people nowadays. So once all the malls will be, or all the buildings will be, once they will be installed with CCTV camera, and with the help of the motions or pictures, whatever may be, if the police people will find that some crime is happening there, or some crime, no, uh, there is a situation that some crime is going to happen there, immediately rush to the spot and find out the victims, and they can try to avoid the incident. Okay, so in that case, you IoT is having a big role on that. So with the help of OTT, whether the inspector or whoever may be the authority, he will get the real-time notification of what is happening in different places of the city or in different places of public gathering. So he can make some decisions on that. So that is what happening here in case of public safety. So I told something, few applications of smart city, like transportation and air quality monitoring. You can make the waste management, and these are all only the few applications. Here I want to sum up. So with this, I would like to have yeah, thank you. Somebody told that you are creating awareness on IoT. Just I'm sharing. That's all. It is my job, and the main success lies in the implementation. Because the implementation is not a very easy thing, because the cost is involved, and the awareness should be there, and people have to try to accept the things. That then only the success lies on all these factors. Thank you, sir, for that. And in the knowledge corner, I would like to give you some knowledge on IoT. Like it is a word initially coined by the person called Kevin Aston. So he is the person who coined the word Internet of Things in the year 1999 exactly, and he wants to give some sense to the computer, like how the human beings are they have the senses, different senses, like seeing, hearing, smell. Like he want to give some feelings to the computer, in the sense that they have to listen, and they have to hear, they have to act accordingly, and they have to act in a smart way. That is what his idea. So that's why he coined the word called Internet of Things in the year 1999. So it is the word coined by the person called Kevin Aston. Okay. Here again, I want to interact with the audience. So here you have a answer 60, then you have a answer 30, and you have 3. And what is the last part you are going to get? 37, no. One more, can any other guesses? Just a little bit, no, you have to be very careful. No, 270 is not right. Sorry, Dinesh Kumar. Just have a close look on the picture. And 81 told by someone and 31 is not right. 81 is the right answer. 81 is the right answer. Let me tell you how. And here you have 4 petals, right? But here you have 5 petals. Can you listen? Can you see that? Can you notice that here you have 5? So that's why you are adding 5 plus 5 plus 20. That's why your answer is 30. So here it is 20. The red flower is 20. So the blue here is having only 4 petals. So 20. Here you are not having any plus sign. You have multiplication sign. So 20 into 4 put together 80. And the yellow, here you have 2 yellow flowers. Okay. That's why you are 2. You are subtracting 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. But here you have only one yellow flower. So 1 plus 20 into 4 will give you the answer 81. Okay. So 81 is the right answer. If you found some other answer, no problem. Just it is only for the interaction purpose. Okay. Thank you for your try, guys. Okay. So with the smart city, yeah, Abhishek Bhattacharya, 81 is the right answer. And smart city, it is a concept which is adopted by government of India 5 years back. And let me give you some information on that. And you have a portal called smartcities.gov.in. Okay, you have a portal. Let me type on the chat box. It is no, after the session you just please log on to that. You will smartcities.gov. Okay, go to the website. You a lot of informations on what is happening to the smart city and what is the smart city implementation by the government, what kind of tenders are going on, and they have given some gallery also, and they have given the informations like what is the status of different smart cities in India. Everything it has been there. So once after the session, you kindly log on to the website and try to find out whether any information will be applicable to you or you can work on that. So in that way, I thought it will be helpful for someone else. So that is the purpose of sharing. smartcities.gov.in. And as I said, almost 100 plus cities are ranked or identified as smart cities, and that process is going on. And for that, many financial commitments done by the government. Each year they will be giving 100. They are ensuring that the cities are turning into smart cities. And today I want to give you a small information on how the Coimbatore is turning into a smart city. Of course, Chennai, Bangalore, Erode, and many cities are under the smart cities. And they are the government is also updating some of the informations on what is happening to smart cities. And in as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, Coimbatore tops in implementing the smart city projects in Tamil Nadu. So this is what the financial implication of by the government to smart city projects. That is, they have initiated almost 5,151 projects overall, and for that they are spending almost 17,000 crore that has been spent so far by the government. And they have some. They used to monitor the progress of smart city also by means of some committees that has been formed. The committee will generally will have some IAS officers and mayors and commissioners. So they will be, assessing the status of each city, how the smart city they are working. So in Tamil Nadu, if you take the condition, the Coimbatore, Erode, and Chennai were positioned at second and third place as far as smart city concept implementation has been taken care. So this is what a smart city project is happening at Coimbatore. Okay, so they have installed some pontoon bridges at Valankulam. It is a kind of floating bridge. Okay, that has been planned in the Coimbatore, and small video on that. And I will be giving you the audio for that video. You just listen on the.
3.5 to 5 strength.
So in Coimbatore, basically they are having 8 lakes. Okay, the main one of the parameter of smart city is they will be connecting all the lakes, and they are rejuvenating lakes, they are cleaning the lakes, or they are providing the pontoon kind of floating bridges, and these are some of the futures of smart city applications. Let us see. Just a minute. Yeah, just a minute. The video is not having clarity. So let me open directly.
Ma'am, it's not visible yet.
Yeah. Not visible.
No, not yet, ma'am.
Okay.
I think you have to stop sharing and then do it.
Okay, just a minute. I will just check myself whether the video is 1 minute. Just a minute, sir. Sir, my screen is visible. Anil sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, the quality. Okay. The quality, I think the quality is not good. So let me explain on that. No issue for that. So in smart city, Coimbatore, they will be no basically the 8 lakes have been connected, and they have shifted to smart parks kind of things, where the people can spend their time in the parks, and they can they can do for some walking activities, some jogging, and children can play in the play areas, and you can spend your time. So all kinds of rejuvenations and all kind of activities has been initiated by the government and by the city commissioner. So that is what happening, not only at the Coimbatore, in all the places like Bangalore and Chennai and Salem, Erode. So all whatever cities that has been chosen by the government. So all these works are going on. For that, you have a different websites also. If you want to know the status of Bangalore city, you just log in bbmp.gov.in, bbmp.gov.in. Let me type on that. If you go for bbmp.gov.in, so you can find out the status of Bangalore, what is happening in Bangalore, what kind of zones were selected by the government uh, to make into a smart zone, and what is happening to transportation in government in Bangalore for converting into a smart city. Like you can know the status and what kind of activities are going on in each city. For that you have a different kinds of websites also, and a common website is what I told previously, smartcities.gov.in. With this, I want to switch over to the applications of IoT in construction, because I hope many people are from construction industry. So I want to throw some light on that. And the first thing is the corrective to prevent maintenance. So you can fix the instrument, that is if you are installing some sensors, okay, no, it will give you some prior information that your mixer is not working properly, your mixer has to be replaced, or your mixer has to be done so and so kind of things. It will give you a continuous alert system of what is happening. So in that way, no, it will prevent the scenario of happening what is happening in the construction industry. So I would make sure that corrective to prevent can do. You can fix the problem initial itself, and you can try to sort out the problem, and in that way you can save the time, also you can save the cost, and it will reduce the administrative experience or experience in terms of forecasting the things very early. You also, one more advantage is you can minimize the paperwork. Otherwise you have to take 100 pages of printout or something like that, how many labors came and what is the estimation process or any kind of thing, whatever you are sharing with the paper, that is you can avoid entirely, and any kind of late or lost can be avoided, and there is the chance of any accuracy problems. uh, IoT can rectify that. Any intervals that can also be avoided. So these are all some of the application of IoT, as well as far as construction industry is concerned, like paperwork or late forms or low accuracy or unwanted intervals. All these kinds of things can be easily avoided and taken care by the IoT. And one more advantage is you can have some real-time observation. Suppose, for example, if you are a site engineer working in somewhere in Chennai or Bangalore, if you want to if your storage godown is somewhere in away from your place, you can find out how many cement bags you have right now in your storage place, and whether you can plan for concreting work, or you can plan for plastering or scaffolding, whatever may be. You can plan your activity based on the your storage. Or if you are an estimation engineer, or if you are a design engineer, if you are doing some alterations in the design part, you can very well inform to your execution engineer that this part has been modified because of this reason, kindly look after that. Like that you can now send the information via internet, so that all the people in the loop, whether he may be a site engineer or a material procurement engineer or a team manager or a design engineer or a planning engineer or a estimation engineer, whoever may be, or including a labor, can be informed all the informations what is happening to the project. So that kind of interactions or information sharing is very well possible with the case of IoT. So IoT will keep an eye on your website manager also, and it will ask some workers for assistance also. If there is any wrong with that, it will ask for some assistance. So those kinds of stuff is possible with the IoT. And of course, you can do very precise construction management in terms of maintenance, and you can maintain your time. Okay, because timeline is very, very important in case of execution of construction project. And also you can find out the trucks. If you are getting a ready mix concrete from somewhere to your construction site, you can find out whether the truck is arrived or not to the site. No, you can very well monitor from the office, or whether the truck is reached, how much quantity of concrete has been delivered by the truck, and whether it is the truck is stuck somewhere due to traffic problems. There may be some delay in time, delay in delivery of concrete. All kinds of stuffs are possible with the help of IoT. And you can of course, you can reduce the loss, any cost you can reduce, you can avoid unnecessary cost also, and you can definitely track the labor hours for the project, employed for project work, how many labors are worked in my site, they are is provision for labors based on work. So all kinds of no labor be estimated. You have to papers, you have some entries, you do some entries. No, it's a tedious process. Basically, tedious process. You can avoid all those kinds of things. That's right. You have contract for HVAC, contract for plastic work, and you have contractor for supply work. So you have different kinds of contractors. So it is very tedious job that how many laborers worked under how many contractors for how many hours. Okay, these many kinds of data are available. So once you connected with the intent of things with the proper programming part, you can make a process very easy. That today, today the type of these many labors my site. Okay, so on 6th August, these many labors are required for my activity done on site. So all kinds of information sharing or information I we can actually do that also. The for me to arrive to the uh, running off some I find right now of the nearby places for me to get the fly ash immediately. And if I am running off, find out what available for me, they can immediately supply me this much quantity of fine aggregate today. Today, those kinds of information add and finally you can here the construction site is the place where you have lot of dump, the waste, the waste, electronic kind of waste, there, the waste also will be there. So you have to all in the your site will be a next activity. So plan very well. Once the will get updated, how you have to take it, to remove the waste. No, like you can inform people who are taking care of the waste, and also you can of any kinds of recycling or reusing, that those kinds of things also you can plan with the help of IoT. And as I said, you have to install sensors. There is no other ways. Not only a sensor, you can have some wearable kind of thing. Wearable in the sense that labor can wear some helmet. So with the help of help, labor can be monitored. So whether the 15th floor or 100th floor where he is standing, and what kind of health conditions is going with him. If the labor is no somewhere in the lift or somewhere, you find his health conditions, whether it is right or not, or he is there, he is undergoing issues like heart is for or suddenly he got any, because people used to get some attack kind of things, even though they are working in the site or somewhere. So in that case, the helmet will give you the alert system of the site manager that is something the labor who is standing on the 5th floor, who is standing on the 10th floor, like that. So also the labor can also be planned in such a manner that he can convey all the things to him. There is a material scarcity or this floor, like that he can convey all the information to the site engineer. That is also very well possible. And AR, VR, that is an I think HOD ma'am has covered on that, what is AR and what is VR, how this can be implemented in construction industry. So those are all the again another boom in IT sensors. And with this, I want to share some of projects. Because IoT is basically a connection of physical devices through the process called internet, and IoT is having multiple applications like medical, agriculture, industries, and buildings, and transportation, and health monitoring, and structural monitoring, and air quality monitoring.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. I think your voice is being broken. Can you move closer to the system, please?
Okay, I will try.
Thank you.
Is it okay?
You're still coming broken. Could be because of the bandwidth as well. If you can try talking to the system, it would help, ma'am. Thank you. Please continue.
Okay. So these all advanced technologies possible with the so so what done we have to find the performance of a rainbow at home. Vibration felt is a problem we found with the bridge. So we thought one big project and we do that. So it is a IE funded project for that. So this is the sensor we have used basically. This is the accelerometer sensor. It will measure the vibration level. Okay, voice is not clear. It will basically measure. It will measure you what is the vibration level. And is a kind of Mario device. Is a kind of every electronics people will be they will be knowing very well. So you can connect with the electronic people and they will tell you how this device will be working. This is where we have some. Okay, now it is okay. Thank you, Jagdishan, for your information. And this is where you will have all the input and output connections. This is the programming part. Whatever we have developed, we have developed in Arduino programming, and it will try to capture the vibration level of the bridge at each time period. Okay, for now it is 11 o'clock. I will be monitoring what is the vibration level of the bridge. Again 11:05, 11:10. So basically what I am trying to do is I am drawing a curve where I will be having x-axis as time with respect to amplitude. So this is what the graph basically we got for the bridge, and with respect to time. So these are the vibration curves, and this is what the programming part we have developed. So if you see the bottommost part, that is the mode shape of the bridge at different vibration levels. So this is the curve whatever we got, and we have written programming in such a way that it will give you three conditions. One is safe condition, another one is retention, and another one is unsafe condition. So once there is an unsafe condition, the authorities will be notified that this is what happening at the Womlur bridge. So the highway department will be getting a notification, and they can rush to the spot and they can find out Is there any rectification or any repair work has to be done, or what kind of problem is going on there? So such kind of interpretations can be done by the authorities in a very well manner and clear manner. That is what very important, so that we have to save the lives of people as well as save the property also. Okay, so that we have done, and this project has got some of the first prize in many competitions also held in our college. And another project is the ISTE Best Student Award. That project has won the award, and this is like you have to move your mobile phone near to the wall. So once there is any crack present in the wall, it will immediately capture the wall, and the program has written in a manner that it will try to capture what is the width of the crack and what kind of remedial actions have to be done. So if the width of the crack is within the permissible limit as per IS code, it will try to tell you it is okay, it is a permissible limit, no need to do anything for that. If the limit is above than the permissible limit, it will try to give you some suggestion, like whether you have to do some epoxy kind of coatings, or you have to fill the crack with only a plaster, or some grouting work has to be done. So like that, it will tell you what kind of repair work or remedial work you have to do. So then notification will be sent to the site engineer as well as to the owner. Likewise, we have developed an app for that. So it has also got some way IST Best Project Award. And one more project also right now in progress. We have developed some air quality monitoring system for Sona campus. That is a part of the research internship of a group of students in final year. So they have used some MQ135 sensors to assess the quality of air present in the Sona campus. So that sensor will give you the information at this place, at this block, the air level is low or air level is good. So by that we can assess something is happening there, and accordingly the campus authorities can look over the issue and they can try to find out some remedial actions for that. So that is possible. So to recall all the things, IoT is a connection of device, and IoT has multiple applications, and being engineering, you have a lot of things to do. You can implement IoT. And some of the students also present in today's session. So for them, I want to give you that lot of opportunities on IoT. Don't think that it is one job, only make the concrete, only to know about the concrete, only to to cast something and to test something. It is not like that. The era has been changed. The era has been changed. It is you have to know what is happening at CSE and what is happening at instrumentation part, whether you can add some instrumentation part in your project, or whether you can make some some smart things in your project. All kinds of stuff definitely you can do, provided you have a passionate on that, provided you have some curiosity on that. It is very, very important. So don't forget that. Don't tell that I have completed my BE 10 years before, ma'am. I do not know what is IoT and all. There are many online things are available. You can learn by yourself. Okay. It is very important that if we have to update with the industry, and we have to update with the present scenario. And this is one of the information available on the website. I want to highlight the things. IoT market is going to growth at a rate of $14.4 trillion. It is a very big, huge amount. It is $14.4 trillion in year. So take you can make some small structure applications. You can do some corrosion reduction, and you can what is the strain level, what is the corrosion level, and what is the temperature, and all the kinds of real-time monitoring is very well possible with the help of structures or with the help of concrete. Anything is possible. And these are all some of the companies working in IoT, and you can very well find out the IoT jobs in these companies: Siemens, Microsoft, Honeywell, Rogers, and Huawei. So these are all some of the companies. They are all working in IoT, and these are all the companies working especially in India: Mutual Mobile, and Covantis Technologies, and Solul Lab, and Synapse and Qantas, and these are some of the companies basically working with private. So whether you belong to faculty, community, or industry person, whatever may be. So my suggestion is no, you have to update with the technology what is coming up right now. Whether it is artificial intelligence, machine learning, or deep learning, or IoT, drone, and AR and VR, big data, whatever may be, it's your job and it's time to update yourself so that you can implement the technology relevant to your field so that you can get fruit out of that technologies. And finally, you have to explore technology with the help of some on. So recommend if you are really interested to implement IoT or to implement if there are the first thing is you can go with the NPTEL online courses, but because NPTEL is the courses offered by IIT Madras, they will be offering many online courses. Only you have to pay a registration fees of 1,000 rupees to write the exam. Okay, and if you are a person from a college or if you are a person from and student, you can about RC and skill design and estimation that, but you try to teach you uh, try to do some coming courses and you can do some and you can finally do some small projects that. And final conclusion is try to update yourself. If not update yourself, it is very difficult to something in the consistency where and that will think that before graduation you will be thinking that it is kind of color job and because the mason is knowing everything. Mason is knowing what kind of rod you have to put, what kind of work you have to work, enforcement you have to think mason knowing what is the job of a civil engineer, being a graduate, being a technical person. So these are all the things we have many tools in our hand that we have to implement in the site. So if you don't implement, this is what our situation. So after graduation, and if you are a person who knows there is a method throwing the ring. If you are not as a if you fail, the final of on you is what you are get. Not always and step my and the water to come up by putting a stone, rather put a straw and take a water and keep your make your thirst off and go with it. And that is what my suggestion getting it and what queries knowing working on a different on drone we are on all faculty for encouraging me to learn and for support and Anil Kumar team also for giving me such opportunity to for that information on IoT. This is maybe I had to help on IoT. Thank you all for that. And finally, stay home and stay and take care of yourself. And the final conclusion is you have a very wide opportunities on and IoT. Okay, that is what conclusion. So it is. I will conclude my session. Is there any question and answer? The forum will be open for that. You can either chat and here I answer for.
I think there is some problem in the audio. There has
Okay.
been a now it's okay. Yeah, I think
Thank you.
yeah, it was a good presentation. In fact, you had touched upon various applications of internet for civil engineering, and I'm sure that during this period, during this pandemic and post-COVID, it's all going to become all the more important. And
Yes.
one cannot do without all these things. And that timing and the presentation of all this three presentations for the last 3 days were very useful, I believe, for the construction professionals, because many of them who want to maintain the social distancing as well as improve productivity, most importantly, I think Internet of Things would be useful. And shall we take some questions? There are some questions that has been. Dr. Satyanarayanan Raju wanted to ask a question: how 24/7 live camera installation applications can be dovetailed into IoT usage in civil engineering projects?
24/7 camera installation.
How it can be dovetailed into IoT usage in civil engineering projects?
Okay.
Because for projects, I think there is no 24/7 monitoring, no?
So, okay.
How do we achieve that?
Yeah, that is what you have to plan for. What kind of hardware you are going. You are directly connecting CCTV camera. Okay. So you have to write a programming part in such a way that you will be monitoring, right? You will be monitoring through your camera. You will be monitoring what kind of volume of material has been dumped on the site, whether the people has arrived at right time or not, or there is a labor scarcity is going on. That information is not conveyed to the team leader. So those kind of things, basically programming only. Basically through programming only, the data will be shared. That there the civil engineering will not be coming into part, or a civil engineer will not have a big role on that. There only the data people will be playing a role from CSC or whatever the domain may be. You no need to worry about that. What will happen to us? As a civil engineer, our part is to get the data and to get the information what is happening at the site as a site engineer or a team leader or whatever may be. So we are not much worried about what is happening inside the programming or how the data is been arrived. For that, a different domain people will take care of that. That is what the IoT is not a single combination. It is a multiple combination of different domain people. As a civil engineer, we are just getting information. Okay, this is what happening at the site. You have to go to the site immediately. Or this material is not sufficient for today's concreting work. You have to order for some other material, or you have to go for some other activity because the labor has not arrived to the site because of the COVID issue or because of the so and so issue. But like such kind of information, getting the information is very important as a site engineer or a team engineer, whatever may be, team leader, whatever.
I think that means 24/7 is very much possible. So that is one thing. Of course, it doesn't lie in that domain of civil engineering, but
and IoT, periodic maintenance should be there. It is not that you are installing a sensor and you are coming back and you are telling that no problem for me for the next 20 years. I have installed sensor in my building or installed sensor in my site. No problem for me for 20 years. Like that, you cannot say. There should be a periodical maintenance also, periodical monitoring of what happened to the sensor, whether my sensor is in right condition or it has been affected by some corrosion or moisture, or it is working in very well. Everything I have to monitor as a as a electronic engineer. They have to monitor that, whether the sensor is in right condition or not.
Another question is that please clarify whether we can integrate and converge satellite data and drone technology in IoT applications of civil engineering projects.
Yes, definitely. Because as I said in my first slide itself, any kinds of interactions and any kinds of connections are very well possible. That is what the IoT has come into picture also. because once you get the satellite data, there is a clash here. Parallelly, because basically the drone, what it is doing, it is capturing images of a land or surveying, whatever may be. You might have heard the last session from Prabhu sir. So satellite also a kind of information portal where you will be getting a weather data, you will be getting a traffic data or pollution data, whatever kind of data. So definitely IoT is the integration only. You can do integration, provide that you should prior know what kind of integration you are going to do and what kind of output really you want to do. Once you know these two things only, you can try to unskill. Skill is the another thing. You should have skilled people so that they will do the proper integration with the proper technology with the proper output. So that these combination has to work well in order to have a good output. So these two things should be done properly. You should have skilled people from, if you are using a drone data, you should have some expert in drone. If you are using a satellite data, you have some GIS analyst or GIS people. They are very good in extracting the satellite data. You should have that expert. So all these experts should have a proper integration. They should know in prior what they are doing, what they have to get, what kind of data they have to extract. So once these points are taken very well, definitely you can connect. IoT is only the connection of devices. Definitely it is possible. I think I hope I answered your question. Any other
Yes,
question?
yes. I think it was. That first question: is there a sensor which can predict an earthquake to save lives? How early can it detect?
It is not exactly, natural phenomenons or natural process or 100%. It is not predictable by human being. That we have to accept. We can now preventive measures can be done. We can know in prior we know the information, means we can do some preventive action. It is not 100% sensors are available that can immediately detect the earthquake is going to come, or this place the earthquake may going to hit at this intensity and at this time period. That information is not possible. Only you can install some, as I said, you can send some accelerometers that will try to sense the vibration. So if your vibration is exceeding a normal thing, you can try to capture, okay, something is wrong, is going to happen, something is going to happen in my place or in the structure. You can do some preventive actions. That's all. You cannot know 100% say that I can entirely replace the earthquake. I can stop the earthquake with the help of sensor, or I can stop the entire phenomena. That is not possible at all. Because we are destroying the nature, like we are doing so many harm to the nature. Definitely the nature will repeat us, right? Will repeat in some or other form. As a human being, as it destroys, we have to ready for that also. The technology will not 100% replace the natural phenomena. Of course, it will help us. It will help us to rectify or to do some preventive actions. That is possible.
Other thing is that the point which was made by Mr. Rajendra Prabhu is the sad part is man has become slave of machines, which is created by man himself, which is against the theory of self-dependence as told by Mahatma Gandhi. I think one thing is that we need not become the slave of machines. We can use the machines effectively so as to increase productivity.
Yeah,
anything that you would like to add?
Controllers. We are the controllers, because automation. We are not slave. We are the controllers. We have domination over that, because automation is ruling the country. If you are take construction or mechanical, automation is the thing we are going to face in future. So a person should be capable of doing automation. Otherwise, if you are not updating on that, definitely you should be out of the industry or out of any field. It may be teaching also. If you take people are, before that we have to use blackboard and we used to teach things. Now right now, within these 3 to 5 months, we are exploring a lot as a faculty. We are exploring a lot how we can conduct a laboratory in virtual, without contacting anything, how to conduct a virtual laboratory to the students, how to conduct online quizzes, how to evaluate online assignments. Things are changing and technologies are changing. We have to accept the shift. We have to accept, and at the same time we have to update also. That is the thing. no, we are the controllers. We should not become slaves.
True, true.
We are the controllers of all the machines.
I think that's well answered, because the thing is that, yes, as you rightly said, we need to control and we need to coordinate, and we need to call it this thing, because we cannot avoid using such devices, because it is the order of the day now. So I think, so thank you so much for that interesting presentation, and let me also thank Sona College of Technology, earlier speakers who had joined us, Malti madam as well as Dr. Prabhu. I think Dr. Malti is there. No, she's not there, is it? So it was a wonderful combination of 3 presentations which helped us to give an overview of what applications can be implemented in the area of civil engineering. So with those few words, let me thank you again, Dr. Gulshan, for sparing your time with the construction professionals. Thank you so much, and thank you, Sona College of Technology, for the entire coordination, as well as Indian Concrete Institute, Salem Center. So I thank the organizers, our host, Mr. Suraj Kumar, as well as Mr. Jagdishan, for having coordinated this. So tomorrow again we have a webinar at 11 o'clock. Of course, tomorrow's webinar is the 100th webinar if we do not consider the presentation skills. So it can be technical webinar. The 100th webinar will be day after tomorrow. So let's meet tomorrow at 11 a.m. So with those few words, let me thank all of you. Stay safe, and thank to all the professionals who have joined us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you again, Ramco Cements Private Limited and Malati ma'am and the entire team of Sona College. And thank you for giving me such a great opportunity today to share the information on IoT. Thank you all. And if you have any queries, kindly know. I will leave my mail ID here. So just drop me a mail, drgulshaniit@gmail.com. If you have any queries later, also just drop me a mail. I am glad to help you out of that. Thank you all.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm leaving, sir. Now I have class now. I'm leaving now.